you know.
Now, Mutulu Shakur, what's your relation to him, if you don't mind me asking?
That's my dear old dad. And if you ever saw a picture of him, I look just like
him. Also.
But, yeah,
how's he doing now? And I'm going to ask you, also about the Black Panther Party. But how's he doing now, man?
I'm glad you asked. Thanks for asking. Dr. Shakur is, he's fighting. He's been diagnosed with bone cancer. He's in a federal facility in Kentucky where he's also getting chemo treatment. But he should have been out in 2016. The parole boards work on discretion ultimately, and they just they just trying to stretch them. They can't hold them past 2024, but we are, we're currently trying to get him out on compassionate release, and due to the COVID situation. He's amongst the oldest and the sickest, and one of the most hardest, strongest fighters we had, fighting for our people. So, while all this renaissance is going on, don't forget about the OGs. There's a lot of political prisoners locked down and been there our whole lives, yo, for real. Yep. So when we doing all this, trying to get the policies and laws straight, we really need to get them out.
Assata Shakur, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite books. I always said I always wanted to do somebody should do a real movie on that whole thing. What are your thoughts on that? The Black Panther Party now today, Assata Shakur and the Black Panther Party today.
Auntie Assata, well, the situation. She's on FBI's 10 most wanted list, and still to this day, in exile in Cuba. And with considering the politics with Trump in office, it's a hard road to get any truth and reconciliation in that. You know what I mean? I have no idea. Let me repeat, I have no idea where she is.
Right.
For all them alphabet boys listening. But you dig, we love her to death. And actually there is a film being made about Assata right now. I forgot the production company. But that's what I'm meaning about African American Renaissance. There's a project being made about her. There's a project being made about Fred Hampton. Me and my team is working on a project too, hopefully called Black Crusader. So, I need mine's finance too. So everybody in the game, holla at me.
Word. Yeah.
So
what's your thoughts on what did I want to ask you? Damn, I forgot what I wanted to ask you. But let's talk about Tupac for a little bit. Can you just take us back to the people that don't know on how you grew up with Tupac and how you were guys as kids?
Pac was my little brother. We had different mothers, but that was my little brother. We lived together as shorties. I was 6, he was 2. It was all cake at that age, we just had fun, played, laughed, enjoyed Kwanzaa together, Black Panther karate school together, and then we were separated due to my father's situation. And then when he was captured, the family linked back up. So I was able to link back up with Pac, and then we made history,
Right.
Story.
Your name, that last name Shakur, is synonymous. You hear it in Black households, it's almost royalty in 2020. But I know in a lot of white governmental households, it's probably one of the top most hated names out there. Do you think that your name is one of the main reasons why your dad is still incarcerated? Maybe even why Tupac is dead. Do you think that your name holds a lot of weight and fear amongst the alphabet boys?
Absolutely. Without a doubt, a contradiction. People could do their own research, but it's been a hard struggle, because our people come from community organization. community organizers, helping the people, fighting for the people. That's not the most popular thing with the federal government. You know, a lot of times we often clash, but you know, I want to get along.
Mhm.
Man.
Right.
Right. You know, what's right is right.
Yeah, it was like definitely the name, you know, was a threat because you can remember them doing surveillance on Tupac and all those, you know, all the Black Panther and Black Liberation Army members, but in particular Tupac for a long, long time, even before he kind of even made it. So they were scared of that, the Black Revolution, and still are. You know what I mean? So definitely, man. But yeah, if Tupac were here today, though, man, what type of individual you think he would have been as a man? How you think the growth would have been with Tupac now?
I think Pac would have never stopped doing film. I think he would never stop doing music, but he would broaden his talents and he would mention law, but I don't know if he actually had a discipline for it. But I think he would continue on making big Oscar-winning films and doing his thing. As
We
well
had
as an activist, you know.
right. We had who do we have on? We had on Mark Curry, who used to be a former Bad Boy artist, on the podcast last week. We were talking about the relationship, talking about the East Coast West Coast beef, the relationship between Diddy and Suge. Now, to the best of your knowledge, how do you think Pac would have looked at that beef now, and how did you look at it then and now?
Hey, yo, that was the roaring '90s, man.
Yeah.
That was the roaring '90s. A lot of young gunslingers was out there trying to make their way in the game. And them two bumped heads. The stories behind them bumping heads, you know, you could ask somebody else. But unless you was actually, you know, connected or even tangentially connected to, you know, the core of what was going on, you know, you knew it was a war. It was a war. Honestly, no one didn't want it to be, but you know, if you was in it, that's what it was feeling like.
Diddy, Diddy, obviously Tupac had a disdain for Diddy. How you think that would have ended up?
I mean, you know, look, Pac would always say he would always give a pass to an opponent who bowed down, who apologized, said they was wrong, because Pac was about the truth, you know. And if that would happen, a lot of things would have changed. If come clean, you know, everybody saw what type of brother Pac was. You got to come clean. That's what type of dude he is. He was, rest in peace, you know. And nobody would come clean. Everybody's slick, you know. Everybody's so motherfucking slick. Excuse my French.
Okay. We had a couple people on this podcast, fortunate enough the last couple of months, and a couple people, and it seemed like a lot of people got a Tupac story. And about that night that he passed away, being in Vegas, they seen him, they were there. And I heard something that you said maybe a couple years back where you were like, some of them people are full of shit. Now, you hear a lot of people talking about Tupac stories. How many of those, in your opinion, are genuine, and how many are just kind of riding the wave?
When it comes to my nigga and his life and the experiences, you know, I'm like a 1%er. You know, there's like 1% of all of them that know, you know, they might know a incident, but they don't know what was happening behind it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they'll have pieces of story, but not the small majority got most of the story.
Now the conspiracies, I know you've been dealing with those probably for your whole life. The conspiracies that he's alive. I had people that hit me up personally, like, "Yo, man, I know he's alive." Suge said it. How do you feel about those conspiracies, man? Of Tupac being alive somewhere, Cuba, wherever they say.
I wish, my nigga. I wish. West Side, Machiavelli to Don. That's exactly what he wanted to do. That's exactly what he wanted to do. Nah, hold up, man. Y'all know and love my nigga, right? Do you think he'll be able to keep his mouth shut for this long?
I ain't talk about it.
I mean, all the shit that's been going on post his passing, you think he'll be able to be quiet that long? That's one thing, you know. Pac gonna tell you how he feel, bruh. You know what I mean?
Why do you think that is? I mean, his name, people still want to be the new Pac. You hear it in hip hop. I'm the new Pac. I'm the new Pac. I'm this. I'm that. He's still that dude. Everybody got their top 5, but that one they want to be is still Pac. Does that make y'all feel good knowing that even though he may not be here in the flesh, his spirit is very alive and well to this day?
Absolutely, positively. That's what helps me. That's what gives me strength to keep smashing. Because we talked about these things. He talked about being a legend. He talked about, I'm gonna set it straight and then fuck it. I'll go out in the blaze. Fuck it. He knew. But he was one of the most bravest little niggas you ever want to meet. And we, the roaring 90s, a lot of us from the Keep It Real generation. You dig? And Pac was the premier artist of the time of the Keeping It Real generation. So some of us couldn't hang. Some of us took L's. I took an L or two. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? But Pac was gonna take his L and keep smashing, like it or not. What? Who is flawless here?
Now you said, in the interview that you knew that Tupac